This is like celebrity deathmatch keyboards for Yamaha and Kawai.
If you're here, you know. It's not often we have two of our favorite instruments behind us going head to head in a battle. Battlestar Galactica. Two of our favorite instruments in the entire store right behind us. Today they're battling it out for the best intermediate to advanced keyboard on the market under $2,000. We got the Kawai ES920 and the Yamaha P515 Titans against each other. Let's check it out.
That was very good. I'm impressed with that one. Hi, this is Ted with Alamo Music Center in beautiful downtown San Antonio, Texas.
I'm Patrick Marr. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channels, check out our other videos, sign up for notifications, leave us comments. We really appreciate your support, and we love to interact with you. Ted, this is no joke. This is two of our favorite products.
These are great keyboards.
We've ever reviewed, two of our favorites. And if you're watching this video, you probably already know how amazing these are because this is something that gets requested a lot. And I don't know if there's too many videos of comparing these two products together, partly because the ES920 is a very new product from Kawai. It's part of that ES series that we love. It starts off at the 110, which will probably turn into the 120 at some point soon. It has the 520, which is the midpoint between those two, and it has the 920, which we have here behind us, which is kind of their flagship of that ES series. We also have the Yamaha P515, the flagship of the P series from Yamaha. And so the P series starts at the P45, which is their entry line to their portable digital piano, and it has the P125, which is the midpoint, and then the P515. So these are the two top dogs, you know.
These are great performing keyboards.
And they're so much fun to play, and so that's why we're here today to bring them to you, pair them up against each other. I know you've been excited for this one.
I'm excited about it because it's almost like each company got a set of specifications and said, go build a keyboard. And this is like a true competitor against competitor type. I mean, price, wattage, sounds, tones. The only thing, one of them weighs a little bit more than the other one, but other than that, they just come in the ballpark the same way.
It's interesting because they're really packing it full of the features people care about. Electric piano, piano sounds obviously, organ sounds, but also the versatility of it. So this is something that can be at a gig, ready to perform. It can be in your office, it can be in your studio. It has so much packed into it, and between the two of them, they have their top samples on it. So you're getting the SKEX on the Kawai, which is their Shigeru Kawai 9-foot, performance center.
Great tone.
Amazing instrument, and the whole modeling that goes with that. You have virtual technicians to modify different sounds on there, and you can really make that instrument your own. We've touched on it on many videos, but just incredible their modeling system behind their samples of the SKEX. On the Yamaha, almost the same story, the CFX, their 9-foot concert grand, and it's their performance piano, and they bring it all the way in here, and instead of a lot of like different voicing that you can do on it, they bring you the binaural sample. So they bring you a sample of basically a crash dummy in front of a 9-foot piano with microphones where your ears would be, and you get that sample of sitting right in front of the instrument. So kind of two different ways to go about bringing you incredible samples and incredible modeling. And at a certain point, it becomes preference.
It does. I don't want to say which one I like over the other right yet until after we get around to playing them. But I'm just amazed at the amount of features they put into it. It used to be if you just had a great tone and a decent playing thing, you could go out there and perform with the instrument. Then now, with the quality of samples they have, and particularly the action on both of these keyboards have phenomenal piano.
Let's talk about the action. Yeah, on the Yamaha, you have the NWX action, which was in their Clavinovas for a long time, the CVP line, which have wood keys, and the more advanced CLP line. So they brought that NWX action, which are wood keys, into this action. A great feeling action, very sturdy, graded, weighted hammers all the way up. Really, by a lot of Yamaha players, just love the action. It's a great feel. Kawai has, on the other hand, the responsive Hammer 3, which is an incredible amount of technology is poured into that action. Where when you see pictures of it, there's so much going on in one keystroke, and they're really trying to mimic that Millennium 3 action that they have, which is all about control of the energy, control of the dynamic range. Plastic keys on the ES920. So that is our first big difference between the two.
Yeah, the weight difference, the Yamaha naturally is going to weigh more. It does have
it's about 10
heavier
pounds
keys.
heavier. So if you're someone who's doing all the calculations and keeping track, it's I believe a lot of it has to do with the wood keys in the P515. But this is actually going to weigh about 10 pounds heavier, where you're about 48 pounds on the Yamaha. You're about 37.5 pounds on the ES920. So pretty substantial weight difference when you're thinking about if this is something that's going to gigs, if it's moving around a lot in your house or in on the road, whatever your purpose is for it. That's something to consider.
Right.
And then also, I say the weight difference is primarily probably because of the action. It's also the speakers on it are almost identical. The way it's set up, 20 watts per side, really kind of a full sound when you play it. Fills up the room. Great reference monitors if you're playing on stage. And also the outs. We were checking out.
Yeah, great outputs. I mean, all kind of professional grade.
Anything you need, MIDI in, MIDI out, line in, line out. Different. They have their own. For the sustain pedals, have their own kind of input for that. But just very packed full.
And they both have USB outlets too.
Yeah, so both can be controllers, USB to device, and have USB to save MIDI and save WAV files on.
That's important as a performance keyboard because a lot of guys have their MIDI files on a thumb drive, and so you get out to the gig and get it on there.
Yeah, and one of our favorite things too, we were talking about the ES920 before. Another big difference is that 4-band EQ.
Variations and features on the fly is the one thing that the digital world kind of left out. You can play the thing, but you just can't bump the boost the bass a little bit or bump up the highs. You have to go into a screen and find all that. Having a slider knob right there on top is really nice, convenient.
It's crazy. So 4-band EQ on that. You can bump the bass, bump the mids or the highs, and you can do that in every single instrument that's in there. So you're voicing. Very cool. I guess invention that they did on this ES920 that was new at the end of 2020.
And both of them have the outboard effects too. You can turn on and off right there on top too.
Yeah, so these are really built for that advanced player who knows what they want, knows when they want to kick on effects, when they want to have it all accessible for you. I think that's kind of where the development of these kind of was headed. They're not going to pack it full of recording features. That's not what this is for.
No. They're primarily going to focus on acoustic piano, electric piano, which would be like a Rhodes whirly sound, and then the different types of organ, whether it's jazz, B3, or church organ.
Yeah, and then there's also, I think, a nice blend of strings on it. They give you a couple pads and string options. The Yamaha, again, is going to have the CFX sample. That's the one that's fully packed in there. They also have a Bosendorfer Imperial sound in there. Does not have the binaural sample, but is available in there. It's a great sounding instrument. The Kawai has the Shigeru Kawai, but also has their SK5, which is a great instrument, and their 9-foot just Kawai. So there's the EX sample on there. Differences between those pianos is Shigeru Kawai is kind of their luxury premium instrument, very performance geared, and the EX is very like workhorse performance instrument. So both of them have 2 9-foot samples on it. It's just incredible how close these are.
To a real piano.
And yeah, well, to a real piano and close as they are to each other.
Each other, yeah.
Yeah, it's so you're looking at the time of making this video, $14.99 for the Yamaha P515, $15.99 for the Kawai ES920. So very close in price, very close to specs are very close to it. One thing we did like on the ES920 we wanted to point out was the headphone jacks. There's 2 headphone jacks on both of these. On the Yamaha, they're both 1/4-inch jacks. On the Kawai, there's a 1/4-inch jack and a
mini jack.
And an 88. It's a 1/8-inch jack. And so whatever headphones you have laying around, you don't have to look for that adapter that everyone's always looking for.
I've got about 20 of them. They're all over the house, but never when I can't find them when I need them.
Yeah. So without further ado, Ted, we're going to play these because I don't think we can wait any longer. We're excited.
We'll check it out.
And so let's hear them. Well, Ted, what did you feel?
What I felt, first I want to mention a couple of things. They're very, very excellent keyboards, both of them. I love the sounds on them, and I like the way both of them play.
Yeah.
There's just a couple little things I noticed, the differences between playing the two. Number one, the Yamaha, because we've had so many Yamaha keyboards in here over the years, now we're getting, has the power switch and the volume on the left. The Kawai, the power switch and the volume are over on the right. Okay, and that's, I have seen people accidentally turn keyboards off. I don't think that would happen on the right, but I know on the left it has happened before. It's happened to me.
Most people are right-hand.
Well, yeah,
they're selecting with the right hand anyways. Yeah.
But and the other thing I wanted to mention is the onboard features for the Kawai, which I absolutely like and I think are great features. They have, again, we already mentioned the 4-band EQ on the top, which is on the fly. It happens immediately. They also have the transpose button.
Oh yeah.
Right on top.
No, yeah, so it's not. You can't find it on the Yamaha.
You have to screen it up.
You have to go through the functions
and page it up. And then the Yamaha does have the split button, which Kawai has on top, and the Yamaha has that as well. But I wanted to mention that the power switch and the volume is different, and then there's some on-top features, which are really nice if you're performing and not have to go into a screen and change parameters.
And I think that's important because probably if you're watching this video, you're looking for a more advanced unit that's going to be able to give you those small things. And if you need transpose button and have it at your access like that, the Kawai might be a better option for you. Also, I saw something on the Kawai, the registration memory.
Yeah, they can. You can store some settings and combo of sounds.
So if you are someone who's in a band and needs 10 different setups going already, and you can just go through and be like, okay, I need the electric piano on this one. I need strings and piano on this one. And so just a little bit more ease of use. What I noticed is the buttons, to me, I think the Yamaha has a little bit sturdier buttons.
They snap a little.
They snap a little bit more with your contact. On the Kawai, they work fine. They feel like you're not gonna have any issues, but the buttons to me are just a little bit more interesting to press. They're not as fun, as snappy as the Yamaha is. Right. That being said, I'm a little partial to, in the room, listening to the Kawai sample, that modeling that it has at the SKEX. I put it a notch above of the Yamaha. I know Yamaha also, and we've done this with the new Clavinovas. So if you're interested in the CLP line that just was released, they redid that Yamaha CFX and Bosendorfer sound a little bit. So I'm curious if we're going to see that in the P515. They redid the voicing. They redid that binaural sample on the Bosendorfer and the CFX. Hasn't trickled its way into the P515 at this point.
The other thing I wanted to mention is the Yamaha has like grain lines on the black keys.
Okay.
It's kind of like, so they feel like ebony wood or like
a satin type of.
Yeah, like it's not just flat and smooth. It has like, you can feel like supposed like lines in the fake wood.
Yeah, and they both have their versions of synthetic ivory that's going to absorb moisture off your fingers. And it's interesting. If you guys have the opportunity to play both of these, we highly recommend sitting with them for longer than 20 or 30 minutes and just really kind of playing.
Side by side is really a learning experience.
It's a great experience, and we're happy to bring you guys this today because it is a question we hear all the time, especially in comment sections on our videos when we are reviewing the P515 and the ES920. These are incredible instruments. I don't think there's a wrong answer here. I think it's a very preference thing. And if the features speak to you, if you need a transpose button on deck, if you need a 4-band EQ, if you need wood keys, these are like these are so advanced that they're you got to make a pros and cons list of they're both excellent, great sounding, feeling instruments. What are the things I really care about the most? So if you've had the opportunity to play these before, please leave us some comments. Let other people know what you think. If you've played the P515, if you owned one, if you've played the 920 or owned one, please let us know what you guys think and in your comparison and your ideas of what do you think might be right for someone or wrong for somebody. I think people would find a lot of value in that. Thank you guys for watching. This is Ted Barslew. I'm Patrick Marr. We're with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio. You can find us online at alamomusic.com.
Till then.